Shalakia for that. I have to kind of go through this a lot faster than I wanted to because this dealing with storage space on my phone, and so I'm gonna have to do this in two parts. Hopefully, I can get through it. If it's the will of the Lord. Shalom. Shalakia. And so they had these massives. They were feeding the dogs. These huge dogs, man. These natives, they would use the dogs to chase the natives out of the mountains, and our people, the Northern Kingdom, out of the mountains, and turn these dogs loose on them, and all type of wickedry they was done. So you go to Psalms chapter 137, verse 9, the book of Psalms. Chapter 137, verse 9. Happy shall he be that taketh and dashes thy little ones against the stones. Okay, verse 8. We're going to start from verse 8 and read on down to 9. O daughters of Babylon, how art to be destroyed? Happy shall he be that rewardeth thee as thou hast served us. Happy shall he be that taketh and dasheth thy little ones against the stones. So the same shit they did to us and our people, we're going to do to them once the Lord lifted standards, man, and all hell's going to break loose, and we're going to put them in captivity. So we're going to do the same thing they did to our kids, we're going to do to their kids, It's no better joy than the joy of vengeance, man, upon our enemies. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 50. Still trying to get over this illness that I had, man, I picked up. So Lord will get through this lesson. Verse 49, we start off with 49 and come on down through 50. And the Lord shall bring a nation against thee from afar, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth. Who's that? That's these Edomites, man. They always had the eagle as their bird of prey, or mascot, to represent their nation. A nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand, a nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of old or show favor to the young. And did they show any favor to our young and old? Hell no. They were feeding them to their dogs, man, to these mastiffs that they brought over there to the islands, man. We had dogs over there, our people did, but they was like little small, family dogs, man. They come over there with these big ass masks, because these were already people of war, man. They were a fierce nation, man. They was already hardened in war. So when they came over there to these inhabitants of the island of Hispaniola, man, these were friendly people. They didn't have any weapons of war like that. And he shall eat the fruit of thy cattle and the fruit of thy land until thou be destroyed, which also shall not leave thee either corn, wine, or oil, and increase of thy kind, or flocks of thy sheep, until he have destroyed thee. And what he did, went over there and did, he totally destroyed the inhabitants of those islands. And that was just starting off in Hispaniola, and he worked his way throughout the Americas and did the same game plan all over again. When he came up here to the North America, which is the United States, did the same thing to the inhabitants there, man. They welcomed him with open arms. The whole time he was trying to figure out how he was going to take the whole nation, man, the whole island. I mean, the whole Americas, and put the people in captivity. So back, so they were departed back to Spain. By the time the journey was ready to depart, 1,600 native inhabitants have been captured. 5,000 of the healthiest between the ages of 12 and 35 were selected to be carried to Spain to be sold there in the slave market. So they bought them. So that was the beginning of the slave trade, man. And then they went to the west coast of Africa after they decimated the islands with the native people, and they started bringing our people out of the west coast of Africa, where we fled to after Roman persecution. This action was the beginning of the transatlantic slave trade, a policy of utilizing the once entitled gentle and friendly native inhabitants who are now being described as savage, wild, and cruel. So that's the title they put on, like they do on us now, to give them authority to come in and butcher our people, like they do in our hoods. You know, they try to create a false narrative that we wild inhabitants, and so that justifies them to come in with their sword and destroy our people. No mercy was shown to the age. No mercy was shown to age or sex. So they didn't show any mercy, man. This is another part of the book. So we had a lot of our people over there, you know, some that did try to fight back. And same thing, they used that same old tactic where they used some of the tribes against the other tribes, and they sold them out. And, you know, they do that same thing today against our people now. You know, they use the tribes against other tribes, the northern kingdom against the southern kingdom, and they use it to play to their advantage. And then once they finish using their tools, you know, they put them in captivity. So this double man's been wicked. Same thing he did to the native tribes over here in the North Americas too. He pitted the tribes against each other, and then once he had them fight each other, and he came in and took them all over and put them all in captivity and tried to wipe them out. Princess Anna Coena was one of the chiefs at that time over there. You can see she's definitely a melanated woman. Chief during that time, she tried to fight against them, and they tricked her, and they end up hanging her and her. And she's very well known in Hispaniola. They teach that in the book about her, but I think they teach it as not being a melanated. Because I talked to a couple of Dominicans about it, you know, and they were like, she's of color. Like they were surprised, you know. No mercy was shown, age or sex. So they showed us no mercy, man. Same thing that Scripture tells us. A people of a fierce countenance who shall not regard the person of the old or show favor to the young. Prince Anna Coena and her cocoa shadowed covers of niggers. I cannot have her strolling about the land in this way. It is neither good for her reputation nor mine. That's when they speaking about her, you know, because, you know, they were melanated like we are, you know. The people of the island were of Negroid stock. Tells you at the end, like it was a scantly remnant that survived after all is said and done. Because a lot of them fled into the mountains, you know, try to escape slavery, but they sent the dogs up there to, you know, they fed them to the dogs, you know. They said Christopher Columbus was so savage, man, that he would just test their swords, the sharpness of their swords on their habits, you know, while they had them chained up for no reason. They would take the sword and cut into their skin and cut their arms off, you know, to see how sharp their swords were. Just fucking wicked and brutal people, man. And so we're going to do the same to them. You know, once the Lord comes back and lift up our standard, and we're going to put these inhabitants into chains like they belong, man. You know, they had their time to rule over us, and for the elect to be sealed, man. And you know, we served our due. We served our time, man. So now it's time for these devils to go back into their rightful place, man, being on the bottom and being in subjection, and us being over them. So it's a very good read, man. You know, gives a good history of the island of Hispaniola. And like I said, you can add this on to, you know, the other lesson I've done when I was over there in the Dominican Republic. So with that, man, I pray this lesson edify me, brother Malakama. All praise to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai. And with that, on to the next. Shalom.